and it looked more like a bazaar than a meeting of nobles. Except the trade was in court and ministry positions, spheres of influence, royal privileges.
Humans.
In spite of several duels and 2 poisonings, no king was chosen. Civil war was in the air.
Where were the mages?
Aye. Where were the great eminences of this world when they were truly needed?
They weren't invited. Neither was I. But if not for their intervention, or rather that of a few influential sorceresses, Baron Kimbolt would have taken the throne.
I was invited to sing at his court once. Afterwards, he refused to pay me, and the food was awful. No way I'll stay in Temeria if he's crowned.
Did they ultimately resolve anything?
No. It ended as usual. Sadly, John of Talus remains our only hope.
Ah, the victor at Brenna, and Foltest's most tried and true field commander.
And during the deliberations, he was several days' march from Lavalette lands, with an additional 2,000 armed men in tow. He's to keep the peace until a rightful monarch is chosen.
He could find that ruling is to his liking.
Natalis is a soldier at heart. He's not suited to rule, and I don't believe he even wants to.
He's got the army behind him.
Which is why he can guarantee peace. Well, a tenuous one, sure, but that's always better than civil war. Besides which, he's deeply in debt to a dwarven bank in which Philippa Eilhart, as sorceress, holds a significant stake.
I think I've heard enough about politics. Foltest's killer lay in wait in the tower, where the Lavalettes had hidden the royal bastards. He was well informed.
Wait a minute, what were you doing there?
I was protecting the king. After the first attempt, Foltest began treating me as his lucky charm. He ordered me to be at his side during the battle. The dragon separated us from the rest of the army. The killer disguised himself as a monk, a blind one at that. He let Foltest greet his children, waited until I had walked off, then cut the king's throat from ear to ear.
How did he flee?
Jumped out a window into the river below. Yor with Skoyatel were waiting in a boat. It was planned.
And you're chasing him because he murdered the king?
I was accused of the murder. I need to clear my name. Besides, I looked him in the eye before he escaped. He's a witcher. Then some brave Temerian soldiers showed up, piled on me, and knocked me out.
Save yourselves, good folk! The beast attacks!
We better get out there. Someone's casting spells.
What sort of sorceress are you? A lot of good you did. Can't you hear me? Why didn't you help him?
He's alive, isn't he?
The beast nearly pulled him in the water while you stood staring like a calf at a shit-covered clover.
Watch your words.
Where's this beast?
Ask her.
Geralt.
Ah, I guess we knew each other.
Oh, look here. Birds of a feather.
Let's say I've heard of...
Master Witcher, this is foolish. The beast near pulled Sozek into the depths, and you're simply chatting.
All right.
I came to Flotsam to kill the Kairan,
Kairan?
the monster that has effectively blocked the port. A moment ago, I had the good fortune to see it in all its splendor, but the...
Good fortune? You hear that, Sozek?
Why's the beast in the port all of a sudden, eh? Summoned by the witch?
To see it in all its splendor.
Sozek doesn't look too good.
Oh, you're trying that black magic on me? Come on, lad.
I apologize for interrupting, but I am Louis Merce, and I am chief person in charge of all matters related to monster hunting in Flotsam. It is in this capacity that I must inquire if you're willing to attempt to resolve the problem of our so-called Karen, the beast that now blocks all trade traffic on...
So, Witcher, are we willing?
I usually work alone.
I was here first, and I'll not relinquish this contract. My way or the highway, as the locals put.
Fine. Your way it is.
You must contact the merchants on the waterfront as regards any rewards. Madame de Tanseville has, I believe, already conducted some preliminary negotiations.
That I have.
In that case, don't let me keep you.
Triss, how long must I wait for you to introduce...
Sheila de Tanserville. Advice.
Kovier's a long way north.
True. I had my doubts if the Kayran was worth the journey, but those were dispelled with what it showed today.
Here to hunt down some ingredients.
Triss Marigold. Sharp as ever.
You're thinking that...
Troll eyes, ghoul venom, virgin's blood, all those disgusting marvels we take from dying to throw into the cauldron at Sabbaths. Right, Triss?
Absolutely. Virgins are a dying breed.
Oh my. Your sense of humor seems to be intact too. But enough of these pleasantries. Tell me, Geralt, you saw the tentacle. What do you make of it?
The beast must be huge. Maybe inhabited one of the Pontar's tributaries before, hunting animals. Then it grew for some reason, and hunger drove it to seek fresh
And on the Pontar it found trade barges burgeoning with obese, slow-moving merchants. You're partly correct. Cedric claims the Kayran emerged from the northern swamps approximately 1 month past.
Cedric?
An elf. Formerly a Scoia'tael. Strange bird. But he knows quite a bit about...
I need to look around, find out if you...
An investigation. Witcher's rituals, extracting secrets and such.
More or less. I'll talk to the merchants about the reward, pay Cedric a visit and get back to you.
You'll find me at the inn. I've rented lodgings there. On the upper floor.
You know the inn's also a horror house.
Thanks for the warning.
How's it?
Splendid. I know every shit joke that anyone's ever thought up. Plus, I've learned how to burp out the official title of the Emperor of Nilfgaard. Shorty's told me about his... Nice to know that you care, though.
Glad to see.
I think I actually like them. They're good people. One of them even proposed to me.
Who's the brave?
Sorry, that...
And here I thought Roach's boys had an ounce of respect for me.
Go on, Geralt.
We arrived in Flotsam, we saw the killer, we've pissed everyone off. What next?
If the Kingslayer's in Yorvet's care, we'll have to get them both.
If we go out into that forest to look for elves, all we'll find is our own death. How can the commander of a Temerian garrison just piss all over the commander of Foltest's special forces?
The Blue Stripes aren't exactly popular among common folk, in case you hadn't noticed.
Like anyone who does the dirty work. But Laredo's a soldier.
The worst scum gets posted to dumpy border towns like this. Incompetent fools who show off their authority to a bunch of grimy peasants.
A little town deep in the forest, terrorized by Scoia'tael. You should be in your element, Roach.
Flotsam isn't just any old town, Geralt. Temeria, Redania, Kedwin, and Edda. The largest kingdoms in the north. Know what they all have in common?
The Pontar Valley, the strip of land they've been battling over for generations.
Exactly. And here's Flotsam, on the border between Temeria and Edda, with Kedwin lying in wait just the other side of the marshes.
At the very edge of the Pontar Valley.
Stuck in the middle like a candle up the arse.
The north's most important trade routes meet here. Every caravan has to come through Flotsam, and anyone who wants to place their cargo on a boat on this section of the river has to bear Laredo in mind.
They say Henselt of Kedwin has gathered an army and is heading for Bergen. The Pontar Valley will be on fire soon, while we, Geralt, are sitting in Flotsam, the gateway to the valley.
I'd like to believe it's pure coincidence and the killer just followed the squirrels here.
Naive, to say the least, Witcher.
little town deep in the forest, terrorized by Scoia'tael. You should be in your element, Roach.
Flotsam isn't just any old town, Geralt. Temeria, exactly at the stuck the north. They say the pot. Night.
So long, Roach.
A pleasure to see you. I believe we met in Vizima.
I know you. I can see you're dying to ask me. What is it?
All right, fess up. What happened to Foltest?
Want to know the version that is yet to make it to Flotsam? The king died in mysterious circumstances. The Witcher Geralt, his sword covered in blood, was discovered standing over his corpse.
Did you kill him? This'll stay between us, I promise.
The killer escaped before I could get him. I'm being set up.
So what are you gonna do? Run around swinging your sword hoping the killer walks into range?
I don't have to. The killer's in the forest with the Scoia'tael, and he knows I'm here. We'll find each other.
Geralt, please don't do anything stupid. Don't stick your neck out. If Laredo finds out you were involved in Foltest's assassination...
I need information. Anything that could help me track down the king's...
I only know gossip. Things folk have been saying since Demavend's death. People are throwing out blame left and right. One day it's the elf.
Let me guess. The suspects also include a Zerrikanian alchemist and a group of halflings.
Bold theory, that. But the mob comes up with even better ones. Know what? Frankly, the most worrying effect of these assassinations is the...
What do you mean?
I mean chaos. People don't know what to think, who's good and who's evil. And these are tough times. Who knows what's...
You gave Vernon a full report on Flotsam. Seen anything unusual around here?
They've got some amazing women at the brothel. You should take a look. One of them.
You know what I mean.
A town like any other. It's got a harbor, an inn, and a stinking... That's what an ordinary man would say. But we poets also look into... I saw a robbery sanctioned by law. Town watchmen laughing as they confiscated goods, all the while talking about how they'd finally bring order to the town. I saw drunken thugs beat up an elf woman while no one even flinched. I know these things happen everywhere, but here, it's not motivated by hatred or misguided attempts at meting out justice. People are driven by cold calculation. They're always looking for opportunities to get a little richer.
So, Mr. Master Spy, what's new in the world of politics? Bards singing about anything interesting these days?
Eddern's in trouble. Henselt and his great army are nearing the Pontarch and will ford it and strike any day.
Well, we haven't had a war in a long time.
Like all little boys, he likes to play with his soldiers. But I don't think Kedwin will have an easy time of it. Eddern's borders are guarded by Saskia the Dragon Slayer.
Who's she? Some mercenary?
A peasant girl and self-proclaimed commander of something called the Adernian Voluntary Militia.
Fighting women and bards who play politics. These are strange times. I'm having flashbacks, Dandelion.
What have you remembered?
My own death.
I saw that with my own eyes, as I've told you many times. Yennefer gave her life to save yours. I thought you might have remembered what happened afterwards. I mean, how the devil can you be here now? I hear you, I see you, you're breathing. I mean, you're just alive.
Dandelion, I've had a flashback or two. I don't know everything yet.
Don't start any brawls.
Of course.
I've got my...
Do my eyes deceive me?
What can I do for you?
My cousin from Vizima claims you're good at that.
I can put...
If word gets out that we've a good contender, better players are likely to show up, and the stakes will...
So,